Hello there, I'm Rick, and today I want to talk to you about computer games and communication and organization in communications. And the thing is, if you're a parent, you probably know that your kid is doing more than just playing a game on the box, right? You know, you've probably heard them talking over Discord or something to people. And that communicating device that they have is probably quite effective. They probably figured out how to coordinate raids on like 74 people at the same time, having a strategy, working with tactics, switching tactics when it's appropriate. They probably figure out a really, really good way to communicate, to get the job done, to align, to build a culture. The games really foster a lot of generosity. Sadly, however, also a lot of other things. That's why I think it's really, really important as a parent that we pay attention to the tone, to the jargon, to whatever our kid is using. Because words matter. The feeling they leave matters. And but I also think the entry there, the connection there is via accepting that it's also a very effective way to communicate. They have a community there that's important for them, that's quite often more important than the game. And I think just blocking it won't work. So you have to embrace what's actually good there and connect and figure out how is this affecting my kid. And then let's jump to organizational development. It's quite similar there too. I've worked for a lot of organizations where we do studies with how communication is done, and we realize X%, usually a scarily high number, but I don't want to share any details about any specific organization here, communicate outside the tools dedicated for the organizational use. AKI, you have a lot of information classification and security audits and stuff like that on tool 1, 2, 3, but they communicate on these tools. Business communication, why work tasks, numbers, matrices, other stuff. And the thing is, if they've already figured out a better way, if it's more convenient for them to, let's say, use channels that they have trained thousands of hours in via these computer games, they know I can get this job done in seconds, or I can take a lot more time to do that. And as an organization leader, we need to embrace that. It's our job to help them see what happens with compliance and laws and personal information and data like that. What happens with hacking and public accessing data that's really not appropriate to perhaps we're sharing too much about a competitive advantage or something like that. So instead of just saying, no, you should use tool 1, 2, 3, we have to understand and be aware of there is a simpler way and what's to learn to use it, and how can we help either make it so simple so they're happy to use our tools, or train them in why it matters from their perspective, not just from the organization's perspective. And quite often use the knowledge that's been built via these computer games to figure out how to get the job done, how to communicate. It's really impressive when you have so many people aligning on one goal and getting it done. And the communication storm that happens around that is really, really interesting to behold if you are just curious and aware that it's existing versus just blocking it out. But likewise in the organization, this goes on there too. You don't see the full story of how your people communicate unless you're listening and paying attention and care about making it easier for them. So they trust that you do have their best interest at heart. Otherwise, they're not going to volunteer that, yeah, I use this side tool too. And perhaps they know they shouldn't. Perhaps they're unaware of that they shouldn't. Communication is what the listener does. That's our responsibility as a leader. Both as a parent and to the people we try to humbly lead. Thank you so much for stopping by, my friend. Take care.